Hey, good morning, South Africa. Beginning of a week, Monday morning, and we got to start adopting some things that are written in the Word. It's not what my message is about, but I want to start it with this: Hey, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do unto others as you would want them do unto you. And then the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that's the one I want to harp on today. We see, unless you're living under a rock, you can see what's going on around the world, and particularly in the Middle East. And we're in a situation in South Africa. I've been watching a lot of social media over the weekend, and South Africans don't want any part of what's going on there. Zero. There's a very small minority of people in this country that are insisting on screaming and shouting and saying the things they're saying, whichever side you're on, but particularly on the side of Iran and all of that, doing marches to the embassy and all of that. Now, I don't know if you guys have read the book by Sun Tzu called The Art of War, but what you are doing is not wise. It's not wise on any level. Okay? I wanted to say this, do you not think that before any of those actions were taken, that there were telephone calls and meetings held between the superpowers and the leaders of the superpowers on this planet before any engagement was affected there? Do you really believe that? Do you think that no one spoke about this first? Do you think Donald Trump wasn't on the phone to what's his name? I think I don't know how to pronounce his surname, from China. You don't think he was on the phone to Putin from Russia? Xi Jinping, I think it is. You don't think he was on the phone to the president of India? You don't think he'd negotiated and spoken to, well, he obviously has spoken to the United Kingdom. They're pulling warships into the Arabian Sea as we speak. You don't think these decisions were made long before any bombs were dropped by America? Israel is a different story. Israel doesn't care what anybody has to say. You understand? But you don't think that these meetings were held. In terms of South Africa, you guys are carrying on here like we are a superpower here. The reality is that thank God we're not. Thank God we're not. Because I doubt anyone will take the time and spend the money to come here, to clap around a couple of people that really can't fight back. Because we can't fight back. We have got no military capacity to fight back. In fact, I believe, and I honestly believe this, that if Lesotho were to invade South Africa, the whole of South Africa would become Lesotho. That is how absolutely weak and degraded our military is. It's really ridiculous. Now, you guys that are standing in front of the American embassy shouting your support for Iran and your support for all and anti-Israel and blah, 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 all this stuff you've got to say. I want you to know from this South African, if by some fluke those oaks do come here, don't phone me. Do you understand? Don't phone me. Don't ask me to get involved. And I promise you, there's a lot of us, all right, that don't want to be involved. And those of us that are willing to get involved, people here that are involved in massive security operations internationally, military contracting, please believe me, they are going to be on the side of those coming here. You're going to have to fight the war, all right, with your gangsters and gangs. Okay, that's your army. That's the only army you've got. The South African Defence Force, brother, they fly back from the Congo and the minister doesn't even know which airport they're landing at. Really, do me a favor. You know, you don't even know where your troops are landing. America just dropped a flippin' precision-guarded weapon on a little hole in the desert. You don't know where your planes are going. You don't know which airport they're going to. What are you going to do when there's no airport? Because the airports have been demolished. Can you imagine? All right? So this is it. You know, the key to this whole thing, all right, for us as South Africans, stay in your lane, sit in your corner, and shut up. All right? Because you got no way to back up what you have to say. Bottom line. Okay? You don't make a noise if you don't have something standing behind you, or if you haven't been training and you're not in the gym and you can't fight. That's you. You the guy at the club. You know who you are. You that little guy at the club. You know that little 5'2" oak that weighs 13 kilograms, okay? That runs around the club and makes cuck with everybody in the club. And then when the shit hits the fan, you come running back to the bouncers, to cry to the bouncers to come and sort out your cuck. That is you, South Africa. That's who you are right now. And that's what you look like to the world. You know? You that little flippin' Jack Russell that stands at the gate and barks, hoping that the Rottweiler at the back is going to wake up and come and help you sort out your trouble. That's who you are. You're making fools out of yourselves. And if you're really that passionate about what you believe about this stuff, it's a very simple fix. Aircraft, air ticket, Egypt, off at Egypt, make your way to Iran, pick up a gun, and do your thing. Hopping around in front of the American embassy here, please, my bro. You know, all they're going to need to do is just lean over the fence with a can of doom and spray you. It's insignificant. However, and I'm going to keep issuing this warning, if it comes out that South Africa and the leaders of this country were involved in nuclear proliferation with Iran, and they were obtaining technology and perhaps past regime nuclear explosives, and they were handing that stuff to Iran, if that comes out, well, you saw what's happened to the top leadership of Iran. Okay, keep that in mind. And this other oak that I always have a dig at, Mr. Malema, shame my butt, hey? 10 of your people die in a bus accident, and you think that that's a perfect opportunity to sing the only song that's keeping you relevant, hey? To stand on a stage and talk the whole lot of rubbish again. My bro, you don't have enough bodyguards to protect you from these people, but there's no army to protect you. You know? Stop trying to be significant. It's going to cost you more than you're willing to pay. Listen to me, please, but I'm trying to help you here. All right. Have a lekker day. Monday. This is the day that the Lord has made. Amen. Have a great one.